Hello everyone, Happy New Year and welcome to Moonrise, where we're channeling the man in the moon. So I want to take a look at the Georgia runoff and see if we can get a little bit closer to the truth. Now you guys, it's right at a knife's edge, and the polls have been wrong so many times now that it really is extremely difficult to know this. It's actually kind of difficult to see this, but I'm going to see, just because I forget these guys' names when I'm doing my work here, I'm going to have them online. Let's see, there's Ossoff and Purdue. Let's take a look at that one first. Ossoff and Purdue. So Spirit, what about Ossoff and Purdue? Well, just like before, I do see Ossoff smiling. He seems very happy. It's funny because for some weird reason, I saw Ossoff with some money in his hand. I'm like, what's that mean? Maybe he got more money, running his election or something. But then he shows me one, and it's almost like I have just enough. So it's sort of like, I got $1 over. So it looks like Ossoff is going to win this one. So can you show me anything more, Spirit, about this? About Ossoff and Purdue. Purdue's looking angry. Yeah, and again, I get the money thing, and this time there's a lack of money, so maybe it's just about the lack of cash in these guys. Oh, you know what? Also, there's that question about the $2,000. Oh, yeah, I wonder if that's the other thing that's going to carry the day, is that there are people in Georgia who, want the $2,000, and there's the contradiction of Trump saying he wants to give them $2,000 and not. So I think that people might practically vote against him just so that they can get, a higher amount in stimulus. Okay, is there anything else? I'm kind of getting okay with that, Dave. Keep going. Is there anything else, Man in the Moon? Anything else we can know about Ossoff? He certainly looks happy. And it's like wheels are turning. That's the kind of thing. He's like, shows me sort of like almost like a wheel spinning, like almost like a basketball spinning on his finger. Like things are spinning, things are turning, things are moving. Ossoff looks very dynamic and happy. All right. So let's take a look at, and I think it's Warnock and Purdue. Yeah, Warnock, sorry, Mr. Warnock. And it's Loeffler. So let's take a look at Warnock and Loeffler. This one's feeling close, really closer. And I hate to say it, it's just, when you get these polls, oftentimes people say, oh yeah, I'll vote for Warnock, but they won't because they're really, at heart, pretty racist. So they will, but they don't admit that they're racist, so they will say it, which makes these polls even, kind of sketchy and hard to know. I think it's extremely unfortunate that we live with such a situation in our society, right? Let's take a look. And I gotta say, I hate to say it, but in this case, it looks like Loeffler is a little happier. Okay, Loeffler seems a little happier than Warnock. Yeah, I'm afraid Warnock he looks, in my image today, he looks disappointed. Loeffler looks happy. And it's appalling, you guys. It really is. I mean, there is nothing about Loeffler that anybody should like. She's a completely corrupt person and has really nothing to offer. It really is a question of race. I hate to say this is true in America today, but it is. Yeah, let's take one more look. Well, I mean, Loeffler looks happy. He doesn't look that happy. I'm going to say this one may still be too close to call because it's kind of ambiguous. They both look pretty serious and uncertain. Now, I'll tell you again, in the beginning, Loeffler's showing up really happy, right? But then she becomes subdued after a moment. So I don't know what that means. So Spirit again, who's going to win, Loeffler or Warnock? So now Warnock looks a little happier. Can you show me again, Spirit? I'm seeing a very, very close race. All right, you guys, now it looks like Warnock is the winner. I cannot tell. I'm going to say in the latter case, I think this is still unknown. I think we do not know who's going to win this. It's just not been decided yet. Please, if you live in Georgia, go out and vote. If there's any other way that you can support the democratic process, and go out and do that. This is vastly needed at this time. People are really becoming very upset about the way that, frankly, the Republicans are behaving in Congress, not admitting that they lost. This is a terrible, terrible thing for our country. It's very depressing, and it's very hard to look at, and it's very difficult to live with this sort of denial. But keep in mind that we have to go to this process. We have to fix the things that are wrong about our government now. And that's not going to be a pleasant process, but we have to finally face it. We've been putting this off for a while, and we have to finally face it. So while this does appear, a lot of times really tough going, it's going to be really tough going if Biden's got 49-51. That's going to be a bummer. But, there is a good deal to be said about this. There is something is going on here which we need to address. So try not to get overwhelmed by this. Just take it day by day and realize that this really is a process that is teaching us something. It may not be teaching us, fun things, but it is teaching us something. Try not to worry too much about this election. There may be some reason why it's 49-51. That may come out in the wash. Right, so we might not know the real values of things until a couple years after, right? So try not to get too distressed about it. The witch is dead. The worst portion of our potentially political lifetimes is over. Things will get better from here. It's just a question of living with the problems that we have and trying to work them out in a way that does not upset you too much. All right? Thanks so much for watching.